Hello, it is the start of another weekly reading vlog. I kind of fell off the planet at the end of the last one, so we're just gonna pretend that didn't happen and start fresh. So let's talk about what I'm currently reading and what I'm hoping to accomplish. So currently I am reading Furthermore by Tahira Mafi. I'm not super far into it, but I'm hoping to kind of get through it because I have the audiobook from Scribd, and so it's not super long, but I'm only 3 chapters in. I have no idea of anything about the plot, and I'm kind of nervous. Certainly still reading I Was Born for This. I've read a little bit more, but again, I'm still not super far, and instead, the reason I dropped off the face of the planet was I spent the day yesterday watching Gravity Falls. I'm getting yelled at by my cat. I'm not entirely sure what else I plan on reading this week. I do want to get ahead on my homework because I do have that wedding next weekend. And I do have Book Night Fest the weekend after, so I want to try to get a little bit ahead on my homework. We have company tomorrow, but I'm also off all day, so I could probably listen to an audiobook and while I prep for company tomorrow, and I plan on baking. So I'm not sure what the reading plan is for this week besides finishing those 2 books. So we shall see. Good morning. It is Tuesday. I finished Gravity Falls last night. I stayed up a little late. I stayed up a little late for me and finished Gravity Falls. It was amazing. I enjoyed every minute of it, and I'm so upset at myself for taking so long from when I started it to finish it. But I really enjoyed it. I'm glad I watched it. However, I haven't read really much of anything. I read a little bit more in Furthermore, but I have to clean my apartment super well because we're having company for the first time ever. Well, not for the first time ever, but it's the first time these people are coming over today. So I am trying to clean the apartment super pretty, so they have, nice thoughts about us. And then while I'm doing that, I'm gonna listen to the rest of Furthermore. But I don't know, but it's not a very long audiobook, so I don't know if I'm gonna end up having to listen to something else afterwards, or I'm gonna do something else afterwards. I do need to get homework done today, so I'm hoping finish Furthermore, get homework done, do not marathon a television show. Those are my 3 goals, because literally the last 3 days I've done no homework, barely cleaned, marathoned, and finished 2 television shows. I have not finished television shows in forever. I'm not a habitual television show finisher, but I finished Scooby-Doo Where Are You? And I've also finished Gravity Falls in the last 3 days. So it's a little weird for me to be that person all of a sudden. So I'm going to focus on reading today. So I just finished the audiobook for Furthermore, and I really enjoyed it. I think it's between a 3 and a 4, but I'm really excited for Witchwood. So I actually forgot that one of my friends gave it to me, so I actually do own it. I did finally put away all of the books that I had taken out for all of reading challenges and readathons and stuff. So they're now finally all away. So I actually have a cleaner, study, and me and Lily got into an argument because I was sitting in my reading chair trying to, figure out my final thoughts on it before I, opened up the vlog, and she goes and she climbs up the chair, and then she goes to look up at the top of the bookshelf, and I was like, nope, you can just have the chair, cat. You can just have the chair. And then she looked all happy about having the chair. An actual rebel. Honestly, I didn't have to unhaul any new books, but when I was going through them and putting the other books on, I was just there was books that I was putting back or putting books back near that I had read recently, or my feelings had changed, and I just was these have lived their life with me and they need to say goodbye. So I have accomplished some stuff, but now I finished my book, and it's still about an hour before my partner gets home. So I think what I'm gonna do is continue to clean a little bit more or do homework. But I finished my book, so I don't know if I'm gonna listen to my other book that I was listening to, or if I'm gonna like start a new book. I have quite a few options. So you know what the logical thing to do when you have an 80 book owned TBR and like a 720 book Goodreads TBR? Reread a book from a series that you dropped in 2015. I reread The Princess Diaries, which again, I reread a book. So it's not even like I read a book that was new or a book that I own, but I reread The Princess Diaries and listened to the audiobook because my library had it available. And I was still cleaning and I took a shower and I look a lot better now that I took a shower. We actually have clean content now. And I forgot why I had dropped it. And I think the reason I had originally dropped the series is that it's an 11 book series. Not because of like any content reasons, though it's just, you know, kind of a little outdated at this point. But I don't think I dropped it for content reasons. I think I dropped it because it's 11 books long. But the reason I was kind of interested in picking it back up again is there is like a spin-off kind of book series that follows like a half-sister, I think, of hers. And it's like a middle grade book. And I was kind of interested in that. But I don't know if I want to read 10 more books to do that. So I might... I forgot that Dad was alive, so I've already remembered something new. So I'm wondering if I should just read the new series instead and like read the first book in the new series instead and then decide if I want to keep reading Princess Diaries books. And I think the other problem was I wanted to at one point like keep reading them, but it's so hard to get a hold of them outside of like getting them from the library because they're super expensive now, unless I go to like I get them on like Thrift Books or Abe Books because they're like not really in print anymore like that. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. But I think my library has a good chunk of the series on Libby in case I do make that decision. I got book mail. I love when I get book mail, and I kind of low-key forgot about it. I think I also got it accepted for an ARC of this, so this will make it a little bit easier. And I was right. It is To Be Honest by Maggie Ann Martin. And I'm kind of amused that I literally just reorganized my entire bookshelves today and for a book to show up. But I never got around to reading the arc of this. And I'm still super excited to read it. So I'm glad that I had already pre-ordered it before I got accepted for the arc of it. So I'm super excited to read this book. It is about a girl whose mom basically had gone on one of those like The Biggest Loser kind of shows and is now doing that whole, oh, I'm no longer a fat person, and trying to make her feel bad. And I've heard really good things about it, so I'm just super excited to read it. And I feel like I can relate a lot with the main character, plus beautiful fat women on covers of books. Yes, please. I am home from work. Dinner is in the oven. You can see Lily misbehaving in the background. And I'm going to put some pictures in some new picture frames that I had show up today. And then I'm going to work on some homework. And after that, I think, and if it depends on how bad the homework is, but I'm going to probably listen to the next Cirque du Freak book because I completely forgot that I had a Cirque du Freak book to listen to this week. So I have book 4. So it is Thursday. I have gone to the gym, eaten dinner, and I'm currently watching Scooby-Doo movies while I do homework, because why am I not doing homework anything? This is not reading vlogs, these are homework vlogs now. We watched Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf, and oh my gosh, that one's a lot worse than I remember. And we're currently watching Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost, which is amazing. Tim Curry playing like a H.P. Lovecraft, Stephen King like hybrid character, amazing. But while I was at the gym, I ended up finishing the next Cirque du Freak book. It is actually called Vampire Mountain, which I could not remember for some reason. And I think the problem is it's called Vampire Mountain. And the problem with the book, and I'm giving it 3 stars because of this, it's the first book in the next arc. But because it is such a short book, and because all the books are so short, and this is a problem with the series as a whole, is because the books are so short, you end up having 150 pages, and as soon as it starts to feel like something's happening, sometimes the book is over. And for this one, it felt like, okay, we're starting the new arc. We're doing something. As soon as it felt like we were doing something, the book was over. And that was my problem. It felt like we were just setting up for the beginning of the new arc. And obviously it's the 4th book in a series, and I'm not going to explain anything else because I explained the series last time. But that's my problem with it. But I'm still enjoying it. So it's 3 stars, but I'm just aggravated that that's probably going to be my problem every time we start a new arc. Is we have the setup for the new arc is the 1st book in that arc. And that just really sucks, you know? But the subsequent books in the arc don't have that problem. And I remember having that problem when I was originally reading the series. But I finished that while I was at the gym today, even though I wasn't at the gym for a super long time. So it's always nice to finish something small. I'm really enjoying basically listening to Cirque du Freak books at the gym, because I finished one last week when I went to the gym. So apparently Cirque du Freak books are getting finished on Thursdays now. Who knew? But I don't know what my reading plans are for the rest of the week. I'm hoping to maybe finish the book I'm currently reading, because I'm also currently reading I Was Born for This by Alice Oseman, but I have not touched that one in a couple of days. Like I said, I've been watching Scooby-Doo today while doing homework, because I'm hanging out with my partner while I'm doing my homework, and he's here tomorrow. So while I do homework tomorrow, we're gonna probably watch something like Scooby-Doo, or something that doesn't have cohesive plot that we don't have to pay super much attention to while I do homework, so I can't exactly listen to a book. But if I get most of my homework done either today or tomorrow, I'm off on Saturday, and I don't have plans until noonish, because I have a friend coming over. So maybe I could probably get some reading done on Saturday. Maybe I could read maybe a whole book. I'm hoping to finish, so I guess my plan is to finish I Was Born for This between tomorrow and noon on Saturday, because I don't have a ton left in it. I think I have maybe 4 or 5 hours of the audiobook left, if on 2 speed. And so listen to it tonight, and then listen to it for a bit tomorrow, and then a bit on Saturday, and then I could potentially read something super small tomorrow or Saturday, and I won't feel so bad for basically making this a let's talk about the television I've been watching vlog. I was on a Tim Curry kick, and I wanted to watch Congo, which also has Tim Curry. It is objectively not a good movie. It is a book-to-movie adaptation of the book Congo, and if you even look into any bit of information about how it came to be written, the concept of the movie, how it came to be, you will find that it's just not the best. However, it is one of the movies I've seen the most in my entire life. The 3 movies that I can immediately go, I've seen these movies more time than I can count, are Congo, Coneheads, and Rebo the Genetic Opera. Those are my comfort food movies. I cannot objectively say these movies are not 5-star movies, even though I know for a fact that they probably are not 5-star movies. So, we watched Congo. I got my Amy, because I actually have merch from the movie. This is Amy. She has been my best friend my entire life, basically, because the movie came out in 95, and I was 2 when it came out, and my mom got me an Amy, and I've literally had her my whole life, and she's been my favorite stuffed animal for literally ever. And I gave her a haircut at one point, and she's not supposed to actually look like this, but I brought Amy out, and we watched Congo. And then I also got fun mail. I had a package from Macmillan, which was a pre-order thing, and I was very confused when I opened it, because this book is not out yet, and it doesn't come out for a while. But I did pre-order swag for Vengeful, and so I picked this tote bag, and it says, I will be your ruin, and it's got the blackout that Victor Vale does, and I'm hoping that guy over there, Peter, will eventually read Vicious because I think he'll really enjoy it. So I'm really excited to have a new tote bag because you can never not have too many tote bags, right, Pete?
Yep.
It is actually now Saturday. I kind of goofed and did not vlog any bit yesterday, but things happen. I made a little bit more progress in my book, and me and my partner have not read any more Harry Potter after the Apologies Potion chapter, but it's okay. I wonder if you can hear my laundry going, so we're gonna just wander to another room. And I am about to listen to some more of my audiobook and go to the apparently one of my packages has got delivered to the actual rental office, so I'm gonna walk over there and walk back, and it's gonna take some time because we're on there's two different portions of my apartment complex. There's the part that actually does like gas, and then there's the part that's electric, and we're on the electric side, but the rental office is on the part that's gas, so it's gonna be a trek. So I brought my headphones, and it'll be a nice little walk. So I'm gonna go and do that and listen to my book. So my mom's girlfriend got me this at Christmas time, and it is like one of those scent burners, and I just changed the scent to be Nutty Banana Bread, and my apartment's gonna smell like banana bread, and it is going to be the best thing ever when my friend comes over and we watch movies. It's going to be so much fun. So I just got a package, and the reason I had ordered the package to begin with was I needed a laptop case for my laptop when I go to BookNet Fest, and I wanted to make sure that my laptop would fit it, and I have a Lenovo, and it was really hard to find a Lenovo laptop case on Amazon, and I'd gotten my computer like 2 or 3 years ago at this point, so I didn't know if it would definitely fit because my computer has like weird dimensions apparently. So I wanted to get it ahead of time. So I got 2 manga as well. I got Dream and Sun Volume 7, which is the newest volume that's out. And I also got the second volume of Hannah and Hannah. I figured I'd pick up 2 more volumes of manga. That's kind of what I do when I don't know what else to get. Because most of the time manga is a thing that's on if you buy, $35 shipping thing. If you like the free 1-day shipping for $35 thing. And I don't like them delivering stuff on Sunday because apartment delivering on Sunday is terrible. So my friend just left, and we ended up watching Life of the Party with Melissa McCarthy, and it was actually funnier than I was expecting it to be, and I think it might have been in part due to watching it with someone, but my standards were not very high for it at all. And I think I'm gonna give it 3 stars. Again, my standards were not very high, and I laughed really hard at like 2 parts. So there we go. But I did predict a lot of the plot. But 3 stars, good enough for 3 stars. I also already finished I Was Born for This by Alice Oseman. My problem with it is very nitpicky, and if I was not feeling the way I have been feeling, I think I might switch to trying to physically read something next week. Or not read a contemporary, because I think this might have been a contemporary thing, like an issue because I was reading a contemporary, or a dual perspective or something. I don't know what the issue was, but I think it was the issue was me, not the book. But for a portion when it was 2 perspectives, I didn't understand why it was 2 perspectives, and then it was 2 perspectives, and it was a fangirl of a band, and then it was also a band member, and I didn't understand it, and then it was the meetup part, and then I was I get it a little bit more, but it just, that concept didn't make sense to me as much as it should have, and I ended up being more confused than I should have, I think. Again, I didn't go in with super high expectations, but I also didn't go in with super low expectations, and it just was writing choices that I was annoyed with, but it wasn't pacing or characters or character decisions. It was just I didn't understand totally the dual perspective thing for the whole book kind of deal. So that's where my thoughts were.